Hello, everyone. Gary Raze here with Remax Integrity for your monthly update for here in Lane County. And my guest here, Randy Bett, you're from basically completely came from Canada, but now that you're here, I'm really excited because you're someone who is very knowledgeable in the world of real estate and also in the world of, well, social media. And I know that we want to get the message out to the people about as far as what is happening of late in the real estate scenario. And I almost said the word political, and the reason I did that is because here we are in the week and a half into March, and we know there's a lot of instability going on right now, which makes some people pretty nervous as far as whether they should buy, sell at this moment in time. So we'll just kind of talk about that, Randy, for a moment as far as what's happening in Lane County at the moment.
Exactly. Randy Bett here with Best Town Agents with Gary Raze. And he did bring up an important point that will affect real estate and obviously the rest of the economy is instability. But right now, Gary's going to talk about what's happened month over month from January to February of this year in Lane County as far as real estate. So I'll let you take it away there, Gary, and bring us up to speed.
Well, as you know, December was slow for the right reasons. January, it picked up pretty significantly, and that was kind of a surprise. And I expect that to continue, of course. But what I have learned from our stats that just came out, things have kind of flattened out at the moment. The actual average price has gone down a little bit from last year, which is personally that's helpful. I like to see the prices go down because we need to have good affordable housing, but it hasn't gone down very much. It's just a few percentage points. As far as listings are concerned, now that the daffodils are popping out of the ground, we're starting to get a lot more listings of just the last 2 weeks, and that's an encouraging part because we need to see more homes that people can choose from. So that part has improved. The time on the market, that's the interesting thing. You know, it used to be, let's see, it's 2 o'clock. We should have that thing pending by 3:15. That's not the case today. No, at this moment in time, it takes about 3 months for things from the very beginning to the very end. So that has increased in time. So it's becoming more of a normal market, to be honest with you.
Which is a plus.
Yeah. And like the interest rates, you know, some people are still waiting for the interest rates to go down. Well, they've creeped down just a little bit. They always tempt you. When I say creep down, they're down to about 6.67 at the moment, 6 2/3%. Well, that's still normal. But if, you know, once it gets above 7.5%, people start panicking. But we haven't been that high for a while, so it's kind of settled right in that high 6, low 7 area, and I suspect it's going to stay that way for some time. So that's kind of where things are at the moment. We're kind of in a intermediate time frame where March is going to just be really accelerated from February.
Yeah, so I can definitely see that. The one thing that I'm hearing is that if the listings have stayed relatively steady, there's longer time in the market. It may be good for buyers coming in. At least they've got an opportunity to wait for the right home instead of being in a rush. And the sellers at the same time, maybe they're able to wait for a solid offer without a bunch of conditions and have a solid buyer.
Yes, you are absolutely correct. It's becoming more normal again, which is good for both sides. As you know, back when COVID was happening, we call it free money because it went down to like 2.5%, 3%, which has never been that way in my entire lifetime, and I'm only years old, and so that's not going to happen again.
No.
Now, saying that, there are a lot of people that still have those 3% mortgages, and it makes it kind of interesting. So, because if they get rid of that particular mortgage and then buy another house, and now they're paying 6.5%, that's a significant change in their outgo of their monthly costs. So that's something to consider. Now, it's also can be a trading chip. For example, let's say that I have a 3% and you want to assume my mortgage. If I'm a vet and you're a vet, you can assume my mortgage at 3%. So that's a good deal.
That's a big plus.
The only problem, though, again, is the fact that, but when I bought the house, it was only $350,000, and now it's worth $500,000. So you would have to make up that $150,000 to assume my mortgage. So, but there's still things out there that people need to go to the professional mortgage people to find out the very best way to finance your home, because there's lots of different mortgages and they change all the time.
How true.
And so they're up to date. So get a professional mortgage professional to help you decide how you want to proceed if you're a purchaser. If you're a seller, it's going back to the point where do the things that are important to try to get your home in good condition, visibly. You want to maybe pressure wash the outside of your home, do all the cleanup kinds of things that some people got away from when it was such a crazy market. The other thing that I want to stress is back in the COVID days, people with the free money, they were over purchasing, they were overpaying for their home. They would do what they called acceleration clauses. And so they would try to beat all the other offers out, and everybody would keep raising their prices. Well, the value of the home stayed down here, but people were overpaying. And that was a problem. We don't have that today. It's back to a normal situation where if you have 2 or 3 buyers for your home, it's still going to be a scenario where they're not going to overbid very much to try to purchase your home. And that's a good point for both sides, because the appraiser, let's pretend that you had 5 buyers that wanted your house back in those days, and everybody jumped the price way up. And then the appraiser came in and had to dampen the mood because the value was still down here, and that appraisal stays. So at any rate, we are in a much better scenario today, simply because we're back to normal interest rates and we're back to normal pricing.
So when I look at real estate, I look at maybe broadly 3 groups. You have the first-time home buyers, you have the people moving up, and then you have the people, downsizing type of thing. In Eugene, Lane County, what's that ratio like? Is there enough homes for first time, the people moving up and the people moving down? What's happening?
That's a great question. The first-time home buyers is the most difficult for them right now because of the prices, and that's too bad. As far as the move up and the move down buyers, that's where the market really is. There are so many baby boomers out there, and when we say baby boomers, most of you know what that is. The people that were born right after World War II, that would have been 1946 through 1964. There's about 77 million of us out there. And there's 11 million of us this year that want to sell and downsize, because those stairs, they don't get any flatter.
No.
And the knees don't get improved unless you get a knee operation. So bottom line is, a lot of the seniors out there are starting to downsize, which is perfect for the move-up buyer because they need more room. And the baby boomers need less room, and they need single level homes more than anything. So that's where the market is at the moment.
Okay, well, that's great then, Gary. So I know that Gary's going to be also talking to people in the mortgage business, and he'll be talking to those specialists. So maybe what we can do is we can just talk about March and April. What do you see kind of in this next 45, 60 days based on where the trend is? Okay,
I'm going to try to keep the political side out of it, because that's where the uncertainty really lies right now. There are many people, not so many in Oregon, but still several. There are people that are getting laid off due to the current administration. On the East Coast, there are a lot more people that are being affected by this because of the government jobs, and there's millions of those people that are being affected. So, but back here in Oregon, we're going to have some adjustments from people that will need to sell now because of the job loss. And so that part is the unknown for me to comment on, because really we don't know where this is all going to end. And right now, folks, we're talking, this is March 13th. So this array of instability has only happened in the last few weeks. So we don't know where this is going to end. But let's pretend that things live happily ever after.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then again, the mortgage people, there are so many good mortgage programs out there right now because there's not as much happening. Therefore, they're more hungry, those mortgage people.
Yeah.
So they have better programs to try to attract you. So let's take advantage of that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that sounds good. So for those folks who are out there that you're looking to either buy or sell, reach out to Gary. He'll even be able to help you out on the mortgage side. If you're uncertain, he'll be able to find a mortgage specialist that can work with you. So Gary, wonderful having you on here, and look forward to meeting you again next month.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Take care.